Hope you're well. It's just a quick video. Again, courses when there's situations where people can get talking. There's so much you can learn. Years ago, I'd read this in a textbook. It's come up on today's course, so I just thought, very brief video. This is just about electrocution, not the entire subject of electrocution, one really specific bit. If you're electrocuted, we have all the issues around burns on the entry and burns on the exit. We have issues around shock to the heart, and that's the bit that I just wanted to focus on because the lady gave her story and it's such a powerful example that we can all learn from. A few years ago, she was at her mum's house, so elderly lady, and she had an old lamp. And the woman on the course today had picked the lamp up and the fingers had gone up inside the mechanism. The bottom to the lamp had come loose, maybe stuck to the table, picked the lamp up, went to hold it, and her fingers went up into the electrics, must have shorted and given her a shock. The shock led to a burn on the entry, so in the ends of the fingers, no burn in the feet for the exit wound here. So she dealt with the burn, and we've talked a bit about burns, so we're looking at cold running water, making the area safe, obviously, getting the electric turned off, and then cold running water for the burns. So she dealt with that, and that all went well. The burns weren't too serious, so nothing else in her mind about this minor electrocution. The next day, she sat down having tea with her family and she started to hold her chest and could feel that her heart was in a rhythm that was not natural, very fast and irregular. Didn't realise it was an emergency, so called 111, what we see as NHS Direct, and went through all the series of questions. Is there any blood loss, breathing problems, medication? No to all of them. And then in the conversation with 111, mentioned about the heart irregularity and the fact that she'd been electrocuted the day before. Immediately 111 stepped into action and called a paramedic to be sent round to her house immediately. The irregular beats had happened over 24 hours later after the shock. Read it in a textbook, never heard an example of it. So just to highlight the fact that electrocution will lead to burns and other problems, but one of the things we want to think about is problems to the heart, and they might not show themselves for a day later. I just thought that was an amazing example of how serious it was for her to get medical intervention a day later. So electric shock, well worth being checked out. If you're not going to go and check yourself out, as in getting yourself into hospital to be checked, then at least keep recognising your own heartbeat and looking out for any irregularities. Great. Bye-bye.